Hi, it's Jill again. I know I haven't done a video in a little while. I thought it would be nice to get one up. And I wanted to talk about something that I've been hearing a lot about from people I'm working with and from the initial results from a survey that I've been doing about intimacy and grief. What I've been hearing from my grievers, from the website, from my clients, from my own experience, is that one of the biggest losses when we lose a significant partner, especially, is the loss of the intimate relationship. I'm not talking about just sexuality. I'm talking about just the intimacy, the everyday. I've got someone that I can talk to, I can hold on to, but yes, it includes sexuality too. Because if someone is getting sick or even after a sudden loss, you've gone from having someone you're used to next to you all the time to someone who's not there, and you reach out and the bed is empty. And then you go out in public and you see people who are just casually holding hands and don't even realize how very lucky they are to have that hand to grab. You also lose the hugs, the touches, the smiles. And if you live alone, you lose all of that and more because nobody else is there to replace that. Now, kids' hugs are great, even if they're small kids or grandkids or adult kids, but it's not the same. And one of the things that therapists are not good at talking about, even grief therapists, is the loss of intimacy. They seem to not want to bring it up. And when I get survey results back, what they frequently say is, well, the client didn't bring it up and I didn't want to press and I felt uncomfortable. And so I thought if they were having an issue, they would bring it up. And then from the griever's side, they say, either I'm not going to bring it up because it makes me feel really weird, or like I'm going to be judged because I've had this huge loss and what I'm missing is intimacy, or I'm going to sound weird like I want to replace my loved one, and that's going to be all judgy too. The reality is, if you've lost a significant partner, an intimate partner, you've lost intimacy all the way across the board. And it's not at all unusual for grievers to want to have that in some way, shape, or form. And if it's been a long death process, to have it sooner than later, because they really need that. That connection is important. I'm not telling you to go out and find a relationship. If that's not a need you have, that's great. If you can get it from somebody else, if you can replace it by getting hugs and smiles that nurture you and nurture your brain, because your brain needs those intimacy responses and that feel good response from hugs and being close to someone, that's great. But if you are missing that and you want to talk to somebody about it, I want to give you permission to tell anyone you're talking to, especially a grief therapist, that this is an issue for you and you need to talk about this loss, because it's a loss unto itself. It's not all the other losses. There's losses in how you run your household, losses in what you thought your life was going to be like, losses in how you're going to relate to friends, losses of friends who didn't stick by you. The loss of intimacy is its own special loss, and it's pretty devastating. And I want you to feel like you can tell a therapist about it or somebody else about it and have someone understand it. My suggestion is a grief therapist, only because sometimes friends get a little weird when you say something about, I'm really missing the intimacy that I had with so and so, because that's not a relationship they probably had with you in having those conversations. If, however, you bring that up to a therapist and they don't respond well, you can do a couple of things. One, you can terminate the therapeutic relationship and find another therapist. Two, you can say, you know what, this really is important to me and I need you to respect that and help me with this, and have them address it with you. Three, you can find some of the grief groups that feel like they would be a safe place to bring this up, especially some of the online ones where you don't have to be present. That might be a safe place too. Four, you can jump on Your Path to Grief and we can talk about it. But I want you to feel like this is a completely normal response. I want you to know it is. It's a huge loss. It's a loss unto itself. And as much as we can snuggle others, like, look who I've got today. It's a rainy day and she wouldn't stay home. Here's Adele. And yes, she snuggles, but it's not the same. Truly, it's not. And laying next to her in bed, yeah, the breath, not a great thing. So I want you to please acknowledge it, write about it, feel free to act on it if that is something that you want to do, because you do have the ability to manage your grief any way you need. And if you need that, please feel free to go ahead. And if you don't, but you need to talk about it, find someone who will listen and know that it's a perfectly normal grief response. Take good care. I'll get more videos up soon.